Hi everyone, David Jackson here with slingandstonemarketing.com, where I share with you the tools and strategies to help you market your business online. So if you're new to the channel, consider subscribing and hit the bell so that you'll be notified when I upload new videos. In this video, I'm going to walk you step by step through creating your own website, whether it's a personal website or a website for your business. I'm going to walk you through purchasing the hosting, installing WordPress, and even choosing a professional looking theme. My goal is by the end of this video, you'll have a fully functioning website that looks like it was professionally created, but you don't have to hire a web designer or a web developer to put it all together for you. As a matter of fact, you don't even need to know how to code anything. And I'm also going to be using free tools in order to create this website. So the only thing that you have to pay for is your web hosting, and that's if you don't already have it. So the first thing we want to do is we want to purchase our web hosting. I personally recommend SiteGround. They are the only web hosting company that I recommend. If you want to find out how you can go about choosing which web hosting service is right for you, I created a video that walks through like 6 or 7 criteria that I use in choosing a web hosting company. So there should be a link that pops up in the upper right hand corner, I think, that will take you over to that video so that you can make a determination for yourself as to whether or not you want to use SiteGround. If you are interested in using SiteGround and following along with this tutorial, I put a link in the description. So now what we're going to do is we are going to come down here where it says Manage WordPress Hosting, click on Get Started, and then that takes us to where we can choose which shared hosting plan we want to use. My recommendation is if you are only going to have one website, then you should start with just the startup plan. There's no need for you to use any other plan that's more expensive if you're only going to have just one website. And if you're getting started with that website and you're not going to have a lot of visitors in a month, as you can see here, it says that this plan can handle about 10,000 visits per month to a website, and that's a pretty fair amount of visitors. So if you're just getting started, you won't even have to worry about reaching this threshold and seeing any performance issues. For everyone else, if you are going to have more than one website, then you should probably start with the Grow Big plan. The only difference between the Grow Big plan and the Go Geek plan is pretty much just better resources. You get a couple of more features with the Go Geek plan. As you can see here, you have things like the advanced priority support, the highest tier of server resources, so you'll get a lot better performance. You have pre-installed Git, which is like for developers, and then you also have white label management if you're like an agency or something like that. And if you are really interested in finding out all of the differences between the plans, you can come down here where it says Compare WordPress Plans, and that will take you to a page where it shows you the 3 different plans that you have and all of the different features and which plans include which features so that you can get a better idea of what each plan offers. There's really no need for you to take a look at that unless you're a pretty technical person. A lot of the features and stuff are for technical minded people. So the thing that I go off of is just whether or not you're going to have more than one website. If you're going to have just one website, start with the startup plan. If you're going to have more than one website, then I suggest that you go with the Grow Big plan because it allows unlimited websites. So I'm going to go ahead and choose that one because I have multiple websites that I want to have. So I'll come down here and I'll click on Get Plan. Then you will be taken to this page where you can register a new domain name, or if you already have a domain name from another registration company like GoDaddy or Namecheap, then you can choose that option. If you register a domain with SiteGround, as you can see here, it's $15.95 per year. That's pretty much on the high side when it comes to domain registration. So I personally don't have any of my domains registered with SiteGround. I use Namecheap, and I will put a link in the description below so that you can go and check that out and register your domain with them. It is cheaper, and when it comes to domain registration, there really isn't a big difference between the companies that are registering domains. So for me, I'd rather just save a couple bucks a year and just register it through Namecheap. So I'll come up here and I'll click on I already have a domain, and I will put in my domain name. And then I'll click proceed. So now it takes you to this page where you can review and complete your order. Basically, you will be setting up an account if you are new, or if you already have an account, then you can just log in by using this link here. Then you're going to put in all of your billing information, your payment information, your credit card. And then down here for the purchase, you get to choose which period you want to use. So whether you want to do just a trial for 1 month, there is like a $24.95 setup fee if you're only going to do for 1 month. Otherwise, I recommend that you do at least a year, but you can also do 2 or even 3 years, and this will be at the introductory rate of $5.95 per month at the time of this video recording. And then after that period is over, then it goes up to $19.95 per month. So as you can see here, right now my bill would just be $71.40 for the 12 months. Then you have where you can add extra services. The website file transfer is free. This is good if you already have a website and you are bringing it over from a different host. SiteGround will move your website, your old website, from its old host to their hosting, and that is 100% free. Another service is the SiteGround Site Scanner. I don't recommend that you add this on. I really don't find any need for it. The only thing it does is it will monitor your website to see if there's any suspicious activity, or if there's been any malicious code that's been injected into your website. And the only thing it does is it just notifies you. It doesn't do anything to help you clean up your website or get rid of the malicious code. So for $20 a year, I think I would just save it. So after you've put in all of your billing information and you selected how long you want your plan to be, then all you have to do is just come down here and click that you confirm that you've read and agreed to the terms of service and privacy policy. And then you can choose as to whether or not you want to receive news and special offers by email. Then after that, come down and click on Pay Now. And once your order is submitted, it will take about 2 minutes for it to set up. And then within about an hour or so, you will receive an email with your username and password and the guidelines for how to manage your account. And we'll click on Proceed to Customer Area. So now we're going to start setting up our site. So I'm going to come up here and click on Setup Site. And this is where you have the option of starting a new website, or if you already have a website that you want to transfer over, then you can come over here to where it says Migrate Website. And then it gives you more options where you can do a WordPress auto migration, which is free, but SiteGround also offers a professional migration, which is free, so you can select that as well. But since I am starting a new website, I'm going to come up here, click on Start New Website, and I'm going to set up a regular WordPress site for this tutorial. But if you want to have an e-commerce store, then you can come over here to where it says WooCommerce and you can select that. What that will do is it will set up not only WordPress, but it will also install the WooCommerce plugin for e-commerce. So since I'm only going to do just WordPress, I'll come over here and click Select. And now what it's asking you to do is to input an email address and password. This will be your username and your password for logging into your WordPress website once it is all set up. So make sure that you use a valid email address and a strong password. And once you have put in those two things, then you can come down here and click on Continue. Then it's going to ask you if you want to include the SiteGround site scanner again. Again, I don't really recommend that you use it. It's up to you, but I'm going to skip it and just click on Finish. Now it's setting up the website. Should take about 2 minutes or so. Okay, and now we're all set. So now what I need to do, because my domain is registered with another company, I need to make sure that I point the domain name to these name servers. So I need to log into my account where I have my domain name registered, and I need to change the DNS settings, and I need to change those with the values that they have put right here. These are the two DNS servers that SiteGround uses to connect our hosting account with our domain name. So we need to make sure that our domain name points to these servers for our hosting account so that our website will show up properly. So now I am over at Namecheap, and what I want to do is I want to change my DNS. So I will change this to custom DNS. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take these name servers right here. So I'll highlight that, do a copy, come over here, paste that in, and I'm going to take the other one, copy that, and paste it. And then I'm going to click Save. Now this is for Namecheap. This is what it looks like. If you have your domain name registered with like GoDaddy or another service like that, then they might have a different screen and it might look a little different for changing the DNS name servers. But you want to make sure that you do this, because this is very important, that you have your domain name point to your new SiteGround hosting account. And this is what's needed to do that. So now that you've changed the DNS name servers to point to SiteGround, we're going to come down here and click on Manage Site. So this will now bring you to the dashboard of your site tools. And what you see here at the top are your pin tools. So these would be tools that you use most of the time, that you use a lot when you sign in. So things like your file manager, creating email accounts and things like that. If you ever want to change any of these, what you would do is come over here in the upper right, click on the little edit icon. And as you can see, these are the 4 tools that we have pinned right now. If you want to unpin them, just click on the pin in the upper right of that tool. And then you have more down here, which are separated into different categories. So you have like your site tools, your security tools. So if you want like your backups to be a tool that you visit a lot, you can pin that by just clicking on the little pin in the upper right. Things for speed. So you can go through and kind of take a look at the different tools that are available to you and decide whether or not you're going to be using them a lot every time that you come into your site tools. And you can pin the ones that you want and get rid of the ones that you don't. And when you're all done with that, just come up here and click Save. So what I want to do next is to install an SSL certificate to the domain, to my website. So basically it will have the HTTPS, meaning that my website is secure and Google won't throw any error messages saying that that my website is unsecure. If somebody wants to join my email list and they're filling out a form, there'll be big warning messages all over the page saying that the information that they are about to send is not secure and it can be read by a third party. So I don't want that, so I want to make sure that I install an SSL certificate so that my site will be secure and any information that is sent through my website will be secure as well. So I'm going to come over here where it says security, click on that, and then go down to SSL Manager and click on that. Alright, so now it's showing the domain name that I have, and that's the one that I want to create the certificate for. I come over here to where it says Select SSL, and I wanted to do a Let's Encrypt SSL. So I'll click on that and then click Get. And right now it's going through, it is installing the SSL certificate, and I should get a message that it is a successful install. Alright, and now it says the Let's Encrypt is installed for Sling & Stone Marketing or slingandstoneconsulting.com, and you can either click to configure the HTTPS or click on back. And then it appears down here where it says that this certificate will expire on January 24th of 2020, but you don't need to really worry about that. It will automatically renew when that time comes, so you won't have to set anything on your calendar and make sure that you come back. It's already taken care of for you. That's part of SiteGround's service, and it's completely automatic. The next thing that I want to do is I want to make sure that the HTTPS is enforced. So I'll come over here to the left and click on the HTTPS enforce in the menu. And it is showing that my SSL is active, but I want the HTTPS enforce active as well. So I'll click on that, and we can see that it is now enabled. And what this does is it makes sure that if anyone were to type in my web address without the HTTPS, that this would automatically redirect it to the secure side of my website. Okay, so now we have our domain name pointed to our hosting, and we have our SSL certificate installed, so our website is secure. So now it's time to actually log into WordPress and start working on our website. So I'm going to get out of the site tools by going up here to the upper left where it says to go to my account. Click on that. Now I am back to my SiteGround home, and I'll click on websites, and I have my Sling & Stone Consulting website here, and I'm going to click on WordPress Kit. And now it's showing a window of all of the different tools for WordPress, but I want to go to the WordPress admin. So I'll click on Go, and that takes me to the WordPress login screen. So this is, I'm going to insert the email address and password that I used when I set up the WordPress site through creating a new site installation. So I'll go ahead and put that in there and then click on Login. Alright, and now we are within our WordPress dashboard. Now this is a SiteGround plugin for the WordPress Starter Site, and basically what it does, it walks you through like a little setup wizard. So I'm just going to go ahead and exit out of this. Okay, and to make sure that you see the actual WordPress dashboard every time that you log in, you're going to want to deactivate that SiteGround Starter plugin. So I'm going to come over here to where it says Plugins on the left. Click on that. And here we see it's the WordPress Starter. So I'm just going to deactivate that. So now when I sign in to WordPress it takes me to the dashboard, I'm just going to see the regular WordPress dashboard. It won't be anything fancy, because if you look at any other WordPress tutorials and they're doing something on the dashboard, you want to make sure that your screen looks like what their screen is going to be look like, so that you can follow along. So if we were to take a look at what our website looks right now, we can come up here to where it says My WordPress and click on Visit Site, and you'll see that there's really nothing here. I mean, it's really just boring, and there's no template or anything installed. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come back up here to where it says My WordPress and click on Dashboard to get back to the WordPress dashboard. And what we want to do is install a theme. So it can be something that is pre-generated, has a good layout, already has all of the styling and the fonts and everything, to make our website look good. So I'm going to come down here and I'm going to click on Appearance. All right, and what that is showing me is it's that I have the 2019 WordPress theme active right now. Just about every year, the creators of WordPress come out with a new theme for the year, and they just name it the name of that year. So you have 2019, 2017, 2016, so on and so forth. But in my opinion, the 2019, the way it is right now, it's pretty bland. So I'm going to come up here and I'm going to click on Add New. And what that will do is it'll bring me to the page showing the featured WordPress themes that people are using on their websites. So you have things like this News Prime, this Savant, all of these different themes. These are pretty popular right now and are being featured. And you can go through and you can take a look and get a preview of it so that you can see what your website might look like if it was using that theme. So as you can see here, this is kind of like a little tiled blog layout. Right, and if this is something that interests you, then you can click on Install and it will install that theme for you. But what I like to do is just go through, see if there's anything that looks good, see if there's anything that kind of catches my eye. But if you are wondering, there is a theme that I do recommend. The only reason why I recommend it is because I use a page builder on my websites called Elementor, and this theme that I'm going to recommend is one that is built specifically to be very minimalistic, very lightweight, and specifically used for page builders. And the name of that theme is Astra, which is A-S-T-R-A. I will also put a link in the description below so that you can go directly to their website. You can download it. They do offer a pro version which comes with some extra features, but you can also just use the free version which gives limited features, which is good enough for most people. So I'm going to come over here and click Install. All right, and now that it's installed, I'll click on Activate. All right, so now I have a new theme installed. So to take a look at what my website looks like now, I'll come back up here to where it says My WordPress, and I'll click Visit Site. And this is now the Astra theme. It's pretty basic, but again, like I said, I use this for a page builder, so it's very minimalistic to begin with to keep it very, very lightweight and focused on performance and speed, so that it gets out of the way and allows the page builder to work at its best. So it's not going to offer very much in terms of style and layout just by itself, because you're going to be doing a lot of that through the page builder. So I'm going to now go back up to where it says My WordPress and click on Dashboard. So now the fun begins. We get to go through and we're going to choose a template to use on our Astra theme that is the layout and the style that we actually like. So now we don't have to worry about changing out different themes. We can actually just change out the template, but keep the Astra theme exactly the same. Keep it lightweight, keep it very available for being used with a page builder. So they have this thing called the Starter Site templates, and if I open that up in another tab, you can take a look at what that looks like. I intend to do a future video going through all of the Astra theme features, both the free and the pro versions. So make sure that you subscribe so that you'll be able to be notified when I post that video. But if you take a look at this, Astra has already compiled some templates together that are ready to use, and you just can import them very, very easily. So if we come down here, we can see that they have templates made for the Elementor page builder, the Beaver Builder page builder, Breezy, and Gutenberg. Gutenberg is like the default text editor for WordPress. So it uses blocks, and they really redesigned WordPress about a year or so ago. And so now it's using this Gutenberg interface that's using blocks, and it allows you to kind of build your content together Not quite in the same way as like Elementor or Beaver Builder, but it's good to see that Astra is taking into account people who might not be using page builders and want to do everything within WordPress itself, and so they've come up with some templates for the Gutenberg interface. So if that's for you, you can just click on Gutenberg, take a look at these different templates that Astra has built in and that you can import very easily. So let's say, for instance, if you want to do health and fitness, or if you're a plumber, or if you have a blog that's into fashion and lifestyle, you can go through these, take a look. If you see one that kind of catches your eye, like this interior designer, you can go over and click on Quick View, and that will take you to a website that has the template loaded, and you can go through and you can take a look at what it all looks like, how the layout is, the fonts. You can click on the different pages, see what the About page looks like, services. So you can get an idea of exactly what your website can look like if you were to use this template. So after you're done, you can go ahead and close out of that. I'm going to come up here and go back to the dashboard. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually install the Astra Starter Sites plugin. So then that way, if I see a template on Astra that I'm interested in using for my website, I will use that plugin to bring it and import it into and use it on my website. So I'm going to come over here and click on Get Started. And then I'm going to choose Elementor. The reason being is because that is the page builder that I use on my websites, and I highly recommend it. I'm going to put a link in the description below so that you can check it out for yourself. There is a free version that you can use, which comes with a lot of features already, but they do offer a pro version, which comes with even more features that you can use, especially if you are into using your website as a business. It comes with a bunch of different business and marketing tools that you can use. They are probably the fastest growing page builder plugin on WordPress right now. So I'm going to use them, but you're more than welcome to use the Gutenberg or Beaver Builder or even the Breezy options, depending on what it is that you want to use on your website. I'm going to click on Next. So what that will do is it will take me to the Astra Starter Sites page, where I see the same templates that I would see on the Astra website, but they're now here within my WordPress installation. And I can go through and I could take a look at all of these different templates. So for instance, if I'm a nutritionalist, then there's a nutritionalist template. If you're a dentist, you might want to take a look at the dental clinic. If you're a law firm, they do have a template, but as you can see here, it says agency. So that means that you would need to actually purchase the agency level of the Pro Astra theme. So they have, I think, like 3 levels. There's kind of a starter level, which comes with a lot of features that you get over the free version. And then they have 2 agency packages. So you need to have at least one of those packages, agency packages, in order to use this template, because that means that it has features that are only with those plans. So you can go through and you can take a look at all of these different templates, and if you see one that you like, let's see, this real estate one kind of sticks out to me. If you hover over it, then it'll show you kind of what the home page will look like, just without clicking on the preview. But if you really want to see what it looks like, then click on preview. All right, and now you can really get a good sense of what it looks like. You can take a look at the fonts and the colors and see how the images are and the layout. So, being a real estate agent, if I were to take a look at this, I would like to see, I get to put in some really nice pictures. I can say if it's for rent or for sale, if it's residential, how much it'll be per month, and some of the features there. So this really looks good. So I think I'm going to go with this one. If I'm a real estate agent, this catches my eye. I like the colors. I like the layout of it. I like that where I can put all the different information there. And if I look over here to the left, you'll see that it tells me that I need to install some required plugins. If I click on the question mark, it says that I need to install Elementor, which is fine because I chose that I was going to be using Elementor as my page builder. And then there's another one that needs to be installed called WP Forms Lite, which is fine. All of these templates are made using free versions of plugins. If there is a pro version, you only need to use the free version. So you won't have to come out of pocket to use any of these templates. So you don't need to worry about choosing a template that requires you to purchase another plugin. This will also import any customizer settings automatically, and it will also import content if you want. These are optional. I would leave them checked so that at least you would have something there, and then all you need to do is just go in and change the text or maybe swap out images, but you'll have a fully functioning website like once you import it all. And then of course, if you have another imported site that you've imported before, then you would want to check that you delete any previously imported sites. So I'm going to uncheck that since I don't have another imported site already, and I'm going to click on Import Site. So it's installing the plugins automatically, it's importing the customizer settings and the content. Alright, now we're done and we can click on View Site. Alright, and now our website is pretty much done. I would say that we're like 80% of the way there. All we need to do now is just go in and change things to make it personalized for our business or our website. So things like changing out the phone number, changing out the logo there. We want to put our company logo or our blog logo there. So things like that, editing the text here, so to get rid of this kind of placeholder text. So in order to do that, what you want to do is you want to come up here and to the top where it says Edit with Elementor, and you want to click on that. And what that's going to do is it's going to load Elementor for you, which is the page builder, and we'll be able to make changes to the website on the fly, and we'll be able to see exactly what our website will look like while we're working on it. Right? So say for instance that I want to change out the telephone number. So I'll come down here, I'll click on the telephone number, and I can either edit it right here, or I can come over here to the left and edit it in this little box here. So no matter any changes that I make here, it will show up live over here where it's showing the preview of our site. So I can change that number to 555-1234. All right, once we've made our changes, we'll click Update, and it will update the website. If we want to change other text on the page, like here where it says Click Edit button, just click there and I can make my changes here. Just highlight this text, let's get rid of that. And I'll type in something here. And again, you can make your changes either here on the page or over on the left in the text box. So once you go through and you make all of the changes and you're happy with the way that your website looks, you always want to make sure that you click Update, and when you're done, you can actually just preview the page to see what it will look like without all of these boxes. And to do that, you're going to come over here to where it's the hamburger icon to bring up the menu, and then you're going to come down and click View Page. It'll take you out of Elementor and back to your live page, so you can see what it looks like. The phone number is changed. We changed the text down here so it looks good. If you want to go through and make changes on other parts of the page, you can go ahead and go back into Elementor and make your changes there. If you want to go to another page like the About Us, if you want to edit that, you click on that to go directly to that page. Come up here to the top and click on Edit with Elementor again, and then that will load Elementor for that page. And once it's loaded, you just go to the section that you want to change. For instance, the responsibility section, I can put in whatever text I want there about my company's responsibility or global presence. And when I'm done, just click update and it'll update it on the website. So it's really easy. It saves you a lot of money because you don't need to pay a designer to design your entire website for you and then pay a web developer to build it out for you in WordPress. And using the Elementor page builder allows you to just go in and change pretty much anything that you want on the page. So it's a very powerful plugin. That's why I highly recommend it. And again, if you want to check it out, I put a link in the description. Now, let's say, for instance, that you want to change the logo that's on your website. Well, you don't do that within Elementor. What you're going to do is you're going to do that through the customizer that's built into WordPress. So the way that we get there is we're going to come out of Elementor by going up to the left and clicking on that hamburger icon again. And then we're going to go back down to where it says View Page to take us out of Elementor and back to our live page. And then we're going to go up to the top and we're going to click on Customize. Now what this will do is it'll open up the WordPress customizer where you can change settings for your theme. So again, we're using the Astra theme. So this is where you would change the theme settings. The page builder pretty much takes care of everything in between the header, which is where your logo and the menu is going to be, and the footer, which is where you have like your footer links, your copyright and things like that. So the page builder takes care of everything that's in between there, which is called the body of the text. So if you want to make changes to the header, things in the header or things in the footer, you're going to use the WordPress customizer to make those changes because that's what the theme controls. So in order to change your logo, what we're going to do is come over here to the left in the customizer menu and click on header because our logo is in the header. And then we're going to go to site identity. And then we can see the logo that we have already imported that came along with this template that we imported through the Astra sites. And all we need to do is just go in and change the logo. It will open up another window where you can drop in your file or you can select a file from your computer. It shows that the maximum upload file size is 128 megabytes. So you want to make sure that the size of the file of the image that you use is less than that, which it should be, especially if you are using the suggested image dimensions of 180 pixels by 60 pixels. So once you import your own image, then it will replace the logo that you have. And then you also want to make sure that you replace the Retina logo. You can either remove it if you don't have a Retina logo. Basically, all it is a higher resolution so that screens that have the Retina screen and displays in a higher resolution, it will still show up crisp and clear on those screens as well. So you would do the same thing, is just click on Change Image, select the file or just drag it and drop it here in the window, click on Choose Image, and it will replace that for you. And then again, any changes that you make, you want to make sure that you publish it. And it will also show up in the live preview here. And then one nifty little thing that they have in the customizer is that you can take a look at what your website will look like on a desktop, on a tablet, and on a mobile phone. So when you change out your logo, you want to make sure that it still looks proper on those three devices. So in order to see that, you would just come down here at the bottom left and there's a little desktop icon. So right now it's showing what your website will look like on a desktop. And then right next to it is the tablet. So you would click on the tablet icon and then it shrinks the page to a tablet size. And this is what the website will look like on a tablet. And then if you move over again, you can take a look and see what it looks like for mobile. So this way you can take a look at what your website will look like on the different devices and make sure that everything is set properly and working the way that it should. So I'm going to go back to the desktop, and again, any changes that you make sure that you click Publish so that they will be pushed live and they can be seen by the public. And once you're done with that, come over here and click X to exit out of the WordPress customizer. And now you're back to your website. Thank you so much for taking your time to watch this video. If you found this tutorial helpful, make sure that you give it a thumbs up and subscribe. And if you followed along with this video and got your website set up the way that you like it, use the hashtag GiantSlayer in the comments below. It'll let me know that I helped you out in overcoming this obstacle that was standing in your way. And until next video, go out and slay some giants.